No matter how frustrating it is, it's not as frustrating as our next topic today, the Firestone tyre recall. So
tell us a little bit about that. I heard a little bit, but I don't know much. So
in the early 2000s, I believe, Firestone was forced to recall, can't recall if it's...
You can't recall the recall?
I can't recall the recall. I can't remember if it's 14.1 million tyres or 14.1 million vehicles.
Yep.
But only the Ford Explorer.
So this is Ford Explorer in the States?
Yeah. Well,
gotcha.
We did get them here briefly as well, didn't we?
Yep, we did.
But apparently, the Firestone tyres were likely to delaminate for the tread to separate while driving, which would cause a rollover. So actually a large number, I think around 270 people perished, which is really a shame. But I was reading through the details and it sounds like both manufacturers had a big part to play in it. So Firestone tyres had a couple of manufacturing defects in the factory that they were making this particular tyre. But at the same time, Ford had just released their new Explorer. It was based on the Ranger platform. So we know the Ranger Ute here. Apparently they hadn't done a few of the groundwork things to solve the Ranger's high centre of gravity and heavy weight.
Common issue with those sort of cars.
Exactly.
I mean, you see the tests all the time. They zip through a little slalom course and they get a little bit fancy there at the best of times. And then they're doing this as well.
I think you're talking about the Scandinavian moose test, which is one of my favourite things to watch. No, I think their Band-Aid solution to the poor handling was to lower the tyre pressures to 26 psi. And get this, tyre temperatures increased by over 50 degrees Celsius above ambient temperature.
That's why you're getting your
delaminated and then rolled over. And even better, so instead of fixing the problem in the second generation Explorer, Ford tried to address their fuel economy concerns by making the roof weaker, which meant that in a rollover, the roof would crumble and trap any occupants.
So they're likely to roll.
They're likely to roll.
And then they got these big tyres that are low pressure, that are creating, they're going to require more energy to drive you down the highway or whatever.
On a heavy car,
and so not overly efficient. So to gain the efficiency, rather than fix the tyres and centre of gravity and all that, center of gravity is related to this, but they lighten the roof. Bring your centre of gravity down, but there's still a high centre of gravity car compared to your normal cars, and they're out there not fixing the real issue. And
they did change the suspension slightly, which effectively raised the centre of gravity. So the recall itself, not too interesting, but the situation around it, and Firestone and Ford both ended up trying to sue each other for damages, and somehow Ford walked away just about scot-free from it.
Oh, okay. But so, Firestone, they're the ones that ended up worse off, eh?
Well, when was the last time you saw a Firestone tyre?
Yeah, I think it's more of an American thing, isn't it?
Well, almost every Ford from, I think, about the 1930s to the 1990s was fitted with Firestone.
But not now?
Yep.
Wow, that's crazy.